You tap like on a photo, and it just, happens. But have you ever stopped to think what actually goes on in that split second? It feels instantaneous, right? But behind that one simple tap is an invisible, high-speed journey that is absolutely mind-blowing. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on it. I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this is the core idea we're going to unpack. Your data literally takes a dive to the bottom of the ocean. It's the hidden physical reality of how our super-connected world actually ticks. Okay, so what is this journey? Seriously, how does a simple tap on your screen in, let's say, Mumbai, get registered on a server in California in the blink of an eye? Let's trace the path, step by step. All right, let's dive into this crazy trip. We can actually break the whole thing down into 6 main steps. We're going to follow the journey from the very moment that signal leaves your phone to the second you see that little heart light up on your screen. First up, steps 1 and 2. These happen super close to home, right in your house, in your neighborhood. And the best way to wrap your head around this whole thing, think of your data as a letter being sent through a massive global postal service. So the moment you tap that like button, your phone instantly translates that tap into a tiny packet of digital data. It's basically a little message that says, hey, this user liked this post. It's like you've just written a letter and sealed it in an envelope. Your Wi-Fi router then grabs this digital letter and immediately shoots it off to your internet service provider, companies like Jio or Airtel. Your ISP here is acting exactly like a local post office, collecting your letter and getting it ready for the next big leg of its journey. And you can see right here how perfectly that analogy lines up. Your phone? That's you writing the letter. Your router? Yep, that's the post office right on the corner. This simple comparison is really the key to understanding this entire incredible process. Okay, so our letter is in the mail. Now we get to the really wild part, the epic journey across countries and, yes, under oceans. This is where things get absolutely fascinating. So what happens next? Your ISP shoots that data onto a huge network of fiber-optic cables that crisscross the country. And this isn't just any old highway. We're talking a superhighway made of light, where your information is traveling at, well, pretty much the speed of light. And this is the real kicker, the big aha moment. We always talk about the cloud, right? As if everything's floating up in the sky. But the internet? It's not in the sky. It's mostly on the bottom of the ocean. To get from one continent to another, your data literally has to take a deep dive and travel through these gigantic armored cables. And we're not talking about a small amount of traffic here. I want you to look at this number. A mind-boggling 99%. That's right, 99% of all international data, your emails, your video calls, and yep, every single one of your likes travels through these cables under the sea. And hey, here's a cool little detail to make this feel a bit more real. These underwater superhighways, they actually have names. You've got cables like the Simiwi 5, which is a mouthful, I know. It stands for Southeast Asia, Middle East, Western Europe 5. These are the unsung heroes of our digital world, for sure. So let's check back in with our postal analogy and see how it holds up on this massive scale. The ISP's fiber optic network, that's our super fast highway system. And that incredible undersea cable, well, just think of it as a gigantic transoceanic bridge that connects the entire world. All right, our little like has made it across the ocean. We're almost there. Now for the final steps, arriving at its destination and then making that ridiculously fast trip all the way back to you. So after traveling thousands and thousands of kilometers, your data packet arrives at a massive data center. Inside, a server, let's say one owned by a company like Meta, gets the packet, reads the message, and officially logs your like. Going back to our analogy, this is the destination post office finally getting your letter. But wait, it's not over yet. The job isn't done until you see it on your screen. So that server immediately fires off a little confirmation message, a tiny got it signal, that travels all the way back along the exact same path, through the ocean, across the country, back to your ISP, to your router, and bam, back to your phone. And the total time for this whole round trip? Think about it. Thousands of kilometers over land, thousands more under the ocean, and then all the way back again? How long do you think that takes? It all happens in less than 1 second. That is just an unbelievable feat of global engineering. So here it is, the whole journey laid out. From you writing the letter to the local post office, the superhighway, the trans-ocean bridge, all the way to the destination office. This postal analogy, it just perfectly illustrates the amazing physical world that makes our wireless world possible. Okay, so after seeing that whole trip from start to finish, let's just take a step back and think about what this really means. The truth is, our digital world is way more physical and honestly way more awe-inspiring than we usually give it credit for. So, why does any of this matter? Here's the bottom line. Every single time you do something simple online, you're kicking off a global relay of unbelievable scale and speed. Your data is physically racing across immense distances, diving under entire oceans, and coming back home in literally the blink of an eye. And it all started with just a simple like. It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? I mean, if this is the incredible, invisible journey of a single like, just imagine what other invisible journeys are powering our world every single second of every single day.